All right, I'm live, and it is August 2nd already. Sheesh, it's amazing. It's midnight with Magoo, and I'm a few minutes late, so it's now into the second day of August. Can you believe it? July is like whoosh, gone. All right, so now I'm going to try to finish my SP Declare. This is what I do. I was in Scientology for 30 years, and I woke up in 2000 after 30 years of being in. Didn't think they did all this stuff, ended up being chased across the country. They canceled my van. The plane was canceled. The vice president came storming up to me saying, "We know where you're going. You're not going there. Hey, no one." And I was like, all right, fine. And hi, Chi. Hey, love it. So, Stacy, who was on the other side in Clearwater, had said to me, bring a phone. And I've told you guys this, it's like back in 2000, we had these little flip phones. That was it. That were like emergency phone. Hi, Cinderella. Hi, Dawn. So I said, Stacy, they don't do stuff like that. And that's honestly what I thought on the day that I was leaving. They don't do stuff like that. And she said, Tori, no, it was the night before. She said that. She said, Tori, we used to run this stuff. We know what we're talking about. Bring a phone. So I said, okay. So I bring this little flip phone thinking she's crazy. But now, hi, Dee Dee. The van gets canceled at my house. The plane gets canceled. The vice president comes storming up to me. I've told you guys the escape story. But, it was sort of like, it was so different than what I thought. I didn't really, until I left, realize what liars they were. I really didn't think they were. It was like, no, they don't do that kind of stuff. I stood up in court and said they don't do fair game. I was positive they didn't because they have a thing, cancellation of fair game. Well, guess what? It's really, hi, Dylan. It's hi, Verity. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. If you missed it, I did an interview with Eric LeVay, and I had fun. It was my very first split interview where I got to interview someone else. It was really fun for me because I've been trying to learn how to do that for 4 years, probably 5 years now. And everyone that said they wouldn't teach me. And then Eric interviewed me a couple of weeks ago, and I explained that to him, that I really want to learn how to do it. And he goes, I'll teach you. So we did the interview today, and I think it turned out pretty good. I really do. So anyway, if you get a chance, listen to it and subscribe to his site also. I'm really big on, subscriptions really help move all of our stuff about Scientology up so that it's higher. Yeah, he is a sweetheart. Thank you, Dawn. I think so too. Hi, Steph, 22 years sober. All right, congratulations, girl. Hi, Tori, awesome mods and all the great pals in the chat. Great respect to all. Absolutely adore you, Tori. Thank you. And thank you to Love It and Sophie when she's here. There you are. You're here from New Zealand. I'm always amazed that she could get here from New Zealand. She is. She's on a plane. She flew all the way here. She's in the other room. No, I'm just kidding. But it's kind of amazing how we can all stay in touch. It's so cool. Hi, YRB. It's so different than, just a few years ago when we were someone, I think Eric asked me about the difference in Anonymous and now, with the live streamers. And it really, hi, Sophie, it really is dramatically different because of social networking. Everybody's in touch. Whereas back then we had a couple people with cameras and that was it. They'd take, pretty much some people would film it. And if they did, they had to go home, edit all of it, and then put it up on the internet. So it was like the next day you'd get to see it. And most of it was just photographs that we'd take. I have tons of old cameras, those throwaway cameras with probably great photographs on them. But anyway, I never took them in to get them developed. That's what it is. That's right. You had to get the film developed. But anyway, my question tonight is, Scientologists, are they liars or not? In general, they don't think they are. They really don't. So Hubbard had a thing if it's true for you, it's true for you, right? And so that in itself, like, it actually helped me because I take medicine for epilepsy, and Scientologists were 100% against it. You can still try to develop them at Walgreens. All right, good to know. Thank you for letting me know that, no one. I'll try it. And I think Costco too. There you go. That's what Eric said. I don't even read the chat because if I read the chat, I get too distracted. It's tricky when you read the chat and you try to, you talk about something because you get you get off the track. Let's just say that. But it was very different. It was a very different time. And I'm really happy that I've been through both of them because it was wonderful being with Anonymous and before then, even then. And now it's wonderful if it's true for you. Yeah. Now it's great. With the live streamers, it's really great. It's really fun to watch everyone and how they're evolving. And it's just really cool. It is. It's amazing how quick it is. So I kind of think Scientology, their ability to keep this charade going is dwindling dramatically. And their exposure of, thank you, Sophie, for saying that. Please put a question before your questions and speak in full sentences. Thank you. Yeah, so it's understandable. So anyway, it's one of those things. Sea Org members are victims, and I believe they believe what they are force-fed. Okay. I think you're right that they're victims, but unfortunately, the truth of the matter is everyone that's in Scientology joined Scientology. No one made them. Nobody dragged them in and tied them up and stuff like that. Not really. I mean, it's a mind control thing where they do control your mind and you don't know it. See, that's the tricky thing. You don't know that it's mind control. So you don't realize when you're writing KRs, which is a knowledge report about, so-and-so because they said so-and-so or they did so-and-so. You don't realize, wait a minute, this is their trip that Hubbard wrote and said we have to do. You don't have to. You don't have to do any of it. If you're in and you're listening to this, my theory is this. Hubbard said the way out is the way through, meaning you have to keep going up the bridge until you get up to the top of the bridge. And of course, he left before he finished the bridge. So they're basically screwed, right? The people that stayed. That's my opinion. But look at what LRH did. Did he go the way out is the way through? No, he took off. He said, look, this is too much of a weight on me. I'm out of here. And he left. So my thing is the way out is the nearest door. And it's like you see an exit sign, you see a door, walk over to it, open the door and walk out. There is nothing they can do legally, nothing. They can scare you and say, we're going to declare you a suppressive. Okay, so what? There's only 80 million SPs out here right now. I mean, there's way more SPs than there are, people in. So why not come out? Most of your friends, I was shocked. Like I tell people all the time, it was so shocking to find out how many of my friends were out and declared suppressive. I had no idea. But most of the people that I was like, well, where are those people? They're out. That's why you don't see them. So don't spend another dime or another day in Scientology slaving away. And that's for the Sea Org too. This is for public and Sea Org. Sea Org are the guys that are working 24/7. Public live in their own homes or apartments. They have jobs and they make money. So it's much easier for them to leave, even though for me it wasn't. I was public, but because I knew so much top secret stuff, they were after me. It was intense. It really was. It was very intense. But anyway, I made it. And just like anybody else did, a lot of people escaped out. I know a guy that was in a hayride with a bunch of Indians. They had an Indian reservation around Hemet. And these guys, the RPF was around there. And the Indians would help him. I don't know if you're supposed to call them Indians now. I feel like when I say Indians, that's like a bad word now. I forget what they're supposed to be called. I've called them Indians all my life, so I don't know what to call them. What is the name? What is the name they're supposed to call? someone that's Indian, American, what is it? Oh, sorry, Kelly. You're not feeling well. I'm sorry. Native American. That's it. Okay. It's so weird compared to, when you've called someone an Indian all of your life. But I guess they see it as not good. So, okay, Native American. I'll try to remember it. Native American. That's a difficult one for me. I don't know why. It just is. I think, I don't know. I have a great respect for Native Americans. And I feel like it should be more colorful than Native American. That's not colorful enough for me, but that's the way I am. But anyway, these Native Americans helped, I think it was Jesse Prince, but it was somebody where they put him in a hay, a thing that carries hay, and they buried him in the hay, and they got him all the way out because it's way, way far from the freeway or highway even. It's really amazing when you see it. We went one time, I was with some people and we're driving along and we're out by Hemet and I want to see the RPF. And wait, I got to get rid of this. I forget how to do this. Wait, let me think. Native American, where are you? Okay, she got rid of it. Thank you. Good evening, Dee Dee. We're driving along. I wanted to see the RPF. I wanted to see what it looked like. So we see, I think it's called, it was some kind of school. It was some bullshit name for a school. But it's just kind of like a dirt road down to this school where it was basically the RPF. And so we're driving along down the road and the kids that are in the car with her, they're like, don't worry, it's okay. And they're not going to do anything. So we drive, when we get up there, and man, they started charging after us. We turned the car around and zipped away. It was pretty spooky, but, people have gotten out of there in many, many different ways. So you don't have to stay. Even though it is far to the highway and then it's far to the freeway. But you can do it. You know what I mean? You can do it. People will help you. They will. Like Mark Headley, I think the SEAL were there ready to take him. And the police came and he told them and they helped him. I think that was his story. He has a great story called Blown for Good. He wrote a book about it. It's really, really great. I love it. Because I lived through it. It's the war is over, that whole thing, but it's the behind the scenes stuff that you never knew. Oh, it's so funny. It's amazing. Please put okay, so we said that. Okay, we said that. Okay. I feel the same, Tori. Hi, Cece. This is great fun and brings so much hope. Good. I'm glad. It really is. I really think it's going to bring down Scientology. I do. Because they can't fight. Kids, you think about it. Like I'm over there all the time, right? I'm going to go tomorrow. And you'll see, it's mostly older people. They're all hunched over. I'm older, right? But I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I still have energy in life and I smile and I like to talk to people and they don't. They're like, they look like the Night of the Walking Dead. It's awful. And they're not getting any young people in because the internet's here. So people go on the internet. You can type in Scientology, and they have gotten better at like kind of spamming the internet with how great Scientology is. But unfortunately, Scientology, and I gave you a chance for years, but I'm not going to anymore. The door has shut. For years, I was willing to talk to you and help you, just give you some tips on why are people leaving and what are you doing wrong kind of thing. Because it's such simple stuff. But you know what? No, you're on your own now. That's it. Today is August 2nd, 2024. And I decided that's it. I'm done. No, I'm going to live my life, enjoy my life. I'm going to help educate people more on Scientology, what it is, what it isn't, why not to get into it. And you guys are on your own because you are toasted. You are. I promise you, you are toasted. And everyone that is speaking out, every voice counts. Every voice matters. It really does. So thank you for being here. All right. Okay. And this is something Sophie said. Comment, I think if they really believe in it, then they aren't lying. Well, there's two sides to that. Yeah, as far as Scientology, I agree with you. They're not lying because they really believe it. Like, get in it, it's really great, it's going to help you. They really believe that. That's not lying. But things where they do lie there are a lot of things they do lie about that are just flat out lies. Where it's like, can I borrow this money from you? I promise to pay you back. We used to have a saying in Scientology, don't ever lend money to a Scientologist unless you're willing to give it away, because they will never pay you back. And that's a fact. Even though they swear and promise and, I'll get it back to you, they don't. They just don't. It's like, I remember going to get those balloons. I told you, for David Miscavige at an event, that somebody said, look, you've got to get these balloons today. And I said, we're at Universal City Walk. You know what I mean? And it's on a Wednesday or whatever it was, Friday. I think it was a Friday night. I said, they're not going to whip up a huge balloon thing tonight. They're going to do it toward get down there, tell them they have to do it. It's the Church of Scientology. So I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I go down there and the guy goes, are you kidding me? Do you know how much money that Church of Scientology owes me and hundreds of other businesses in Los Angeles? They don't pay anybody. And I'm like, really? I was just stunned. I mean, it blew my mind, because they're the most ethical people on the planet, right? And when you're in the Truman Show, you kind of believe that. You do. But after a while, you slowly start realizing, wait a minute, they're not really the most ethical. And then after a while, they're like, they're not even a little bit ethical. They're like really creepy people. So I think you're right as far as they believing in Scientology, but as far as other things that they lie about, like, let's say they absolutely know, like me, but I never did this, but I'm sure other people did. I knew OT7 didn't work, but I never tried to get anybody on it because I knew it didn't work. But there's other people that would say, oh yeah, it's definitely going to work for you. Now, it isn't really a lie, because they, like you say, they really believe it will work for you. It's just, they can't say it's not working for me, because that's a high crime. So they can't say that. So they're just saying it'll work for you. That kind of thing. And yeah, I've had a lot of wins on it. And they haven't. They haven't. I was the one who told the gold kids that wanted to film me. I said, I haven't had a win on OT7, not one. And they all turned white. They just walked away. It was like, I never heard from them again. They never wanted to film me again. Any lies, perhaps for the greater good? Right. Church believes that lying is okay if it's for the greater good. That's right. Thank you, Verity. They have the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. And there's 8 dynamics. And if you want, I can tell you about them. But anyway, they have 8 dynamics. And so if it's the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics, you can lie. It's like, who cares? That's going to help all those dynamics, then that's okay. Sophie, listen up, Osa. You too can just walk out the door. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. And I've told Yachty that for 24 years, but he's still in. His wife died. He lost her. She was smart enough to get out of here. Do you think that people who are targeted, that they are lonely and are looking for something, or people to accept them, might be easier to recruit? This is what the cult experts told me. A lot of people think that. They think that people that are in cults are stupid, or they're lonely, or they're not doing well in life, and that's why they join the cult. And he said, actually, most of the people that we've studied, and years of studying many different cults, have very high IQs. That's why they got in the cult, because they wanted to do something more, something different, something better. So I think, yeah, the people that are lonely, and that's one target audience, but I think there's also plenty of target audiences where they're making a lot of money, they're doing well, they're successful, and they're like, hey, we can make you more successful, and come on in, you'll love it here. and they bring them over to Celebrity Center. And Celebrity Center is beautiful. It really is. It's a very pretty. It was a very famous hotel for years, and they refurbished it and snazzed it up, and you get in, and of course they love bomb people. Even if you're a millionaire, they're love bombing you, and it's like, wow, I haven't felt this in a long time or ever. You know what I mean? And it's sort of it's surprising how love bombing can work. It really is. So, Steph, 22 years sober. I love that. That is really great. I think they target anybody, really, truthfully. Lonely people, not so much. I really don't think, because they're looking for the upstats, which are people that are doing well in the world. And lonely people often, not all the time, but a lot of times they're not. And they're looking for something or people to accept them. Yeah, that could be. That's one group of people that they could be after, but they're after anybody. It doesn't matter. I mean, they are now, they have Louis Farrakhan, who now has gotten part of the Nation of Islam roped into it. It's unbelievable. They're something else. They really are. And so, my thing is just stay away from them, because they're dangerously good at tricking you. And that's what I call it. It's tricking you. Okay, so we answered that. Oh, I'm an Apache. All right, cool. And hardly anything offends me. Okay. All right. So would you prefer being called an Indian, or would you prefer being called Native American, or something else? See, I think it should be something else. Somehow Native American just sounds so like, I don't know, it just doesn't sound cool to me. And it isn't because it's not Indian. It's just, I think that generally, like I saw, Apache. Yeah, right away. I like that. You see, I brighten up. I like that, because I love natives of all different kinds. I really do. I remember one time I was at Flag, and I found out that someone from, I think, New Zealand was at Flag in our OT7. And they said, yeah, he actually is from the mountains, like the bush area. And I said, really? He said, yeah. They said, yeah, he's like a native. And I said, wow, I'd really like to talk to him. And I said, how will I find him? And they said, well, he's not too hard. He's the only guy out there in a skirt. So I met him. We had a great time. We really did. Okay, so that's cool. Steph, let me know if you have any other. I'm glad that not hardly anything offends you. That's congratulations on that. And let me know if there's another name you think of, or if you like Native American, because that would help me. All right. And I agree, Mark's book is fabulous. His humor is great. I know he's all-time great. Comment, regarding Mark Headley, I believe that another driver told the police that they had seen the church officials running him off the road. Yeah, I think it was something like that, but it that's a good story. If you haven't read it, it's really worth it. I love watching you talk to SOCs. Okay, and SOCs are, somebody here knows what that is. SOCs, Scientology. You have to tell me what that is. Remember, I'm not good at these acronym things, because I had that for years with Scientology, with all their little acronyms. So we finally got rid of that, because I'd drive around with Spanky and a few other friends, and they'd be like, all right, nobody knows what you're talking about, Tori. What does that mean in English? And I'd have to say, all right, PTS is potential trouble source. So I'm used to saying the whole word, so people know what I'm talking about. Whereas SOC, I don't know what that means. Okay, that stands for Scientologists? SOCs? Okay. I never heard it. I never, ever have heard someone call a Scientologist an SOC. So just so you know, I've heard them being called SCN, or SCNS, like Scientologists, but not SOC. So anyway, there you go. All right. So anyway, you're talking about me talking to Scientologists who are in. Yeah. I know. I think it's good, and you never know. You never know who's listening. They might be listening, and you can walk out that door tonight. You can call me. I will come get you. I'll pick you up. And believe me, you won't have any problems, because I know you think they put it in your head. It's like, oh, you have to route out, and you have to do all these things, and you have to pay them all this money and all this shit. No, just call me. I'll come over. You get in the car. That's it. We'll handle the rest. That's it. So start thinking about you for one time. That's the thing. When you're in Scientology, you never think about you. It's like everybody else. You got to clear the whole planet. Don't forget to hit the like button. There you go, Sophie. I like that. All right. And here's YRB. Question. Do you think a massive class action suit asking for a refund would get their attention? No, I do not. We went through that in the early 2000s. We were all like, ooh, class action suit. That's what we think. And we talked to a number of different attorneys. And apparently, with a class action suit, it has to be exactly the same thing. Like, exactly. And if it isn't exactly, that's it. And most of Scientologists, we all have, different things. So, I mean, you could try it, but I'm just saying, I think in general, it's a lot of work and very little return. I think everybody'd be better to keep speaking out on the internet, talking to the media, going down there and protesting. Because I do think, like, I sit there and say, I want my $1 million. Give me my $1 million. That's their policy. If they don't like it, get rid of them and give them their money back. L. Ron Hubbard. There you go, Miss Gavage. And you can white it out of your new green and red volumes, which I'm sure you will. But you know what? I have the old ones. And so do a few of my other friends. And I have friends in other countries who have the old ones. So we have the references, babe. You can't really, I know you think you can get rid of them, but not really. You're toasted, man. Hi, Tori, checking in from San Bernardino County. All right, Acer 211. Cool. Hi, Tori from Australia. Hi, Sandy Hill. I love that. I love Australia and New Zealand. Those two places I really want to go. Comment, I'm 72 this month. Congratulations, and feel better and healthier than 55 when I left. I know, isn't it amazing? It's really weird. But it could have gone the wrong way getting out of there. Well, it could be the wrong way walking across the street too. You know what I mean? The point is, you feel better now than you did at 55, and I'm the same. I'm 77, and I feel much better than I did in my 50s. In my 50s, Scientology was totally turning on me. Totally. I mean, it was awful. I mean, sometime I should tell that whole story. It was awful. I mean, it was just really painfully, dreadfully awful. And I have to give Germany a heads up for having Ursula Caberta on their German government for a long while. And if Scientology was in a business, they had to tell them, because otherwise, out. Because they said, we've done this drill before. We know it. And I thought, good for them. Okay, here's YRB. They lie about permits and a whole bunch of things. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what the hell is that? What are those stupid flower things? What are they lying to the city about that? Okay, here's Sophie. Comment. Yes, Tori, can you please explain the dynamics and why it's so important, such an important part of the Truman Show? Okay, I will. Okay, so just so I make sure I have the right thing, I'm going to look them up in the dynamics. All right, here we go. Good. Okay, good. Dun, 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 dun. This is from the Scientology Technical Dictionary. Is that upside down? Which way is the right way? There you go. No. Anyway, you get it. L. Ron Hubbard. Okay, so the first dynamic is the survival through self. Okay. Wait, I gotta undo this so half of my face isn't covered. Thank you. Okay, so the first one is the survival through self. The second one, now let me just see if he has them written down here. The first dynamic is the urge towards existence as oneself. Here we have individuality expressed fully. This can be called the self dynamic. Okay. The second dynamic is the urge towards existence as a sexual or bisexual activity. Interesting that he put that in there, but they're totally homophobic. So weird. This dynamic actually has two divisions. The second dynamic, A, is the sexual act itself and the children. This can be called the sex dynamic. Oh, wait. And B, actually, A is the second dynamic, is the sexual act itself. And then B is the family unit, including the rearing of children. And that can be called the sex dynamic. Okay, and then the third dynamic is the urge towards existence in groups as of individuals. Any group or part of an entire class could be considered to be part of the third dynamic. So, like for me, I go to Weight Watchers. That's a third dynamic activity, right? Being married is the second dynamic activity. Having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, second dynamic. My son, part of my second dynamic. First dynamic, I get my hair done. That's part of my first dynamic. Working, having a job, that kind of stuff, that is. Okay, so there's all those things. Okay, the school, society, town, the nation are part of the third dynamic, and each one is a third dynamic. This can be called the group dynamic. The fourth dynamic is the urge towards existence as mankind. Whereas the white race could be considered a third dynamic, all the races would be considered the fourth dynamic. So there you go. This can be called the mankind dynamic. The fifth dynamic is the urge towards existence of the animal kingdom. So that's all kinds of animals and living things. This includes all living things, whether vegetables or animal. The fish in the sea, the beasts of the field, or of the forest, grass, trees, flowers, or anything directly and intimately motivated by life. This could be called the animal dynamic. So they often in Scientology will talk about their dynamics, right? And, if your dynamics are doing well, you're upstat. If your dynamics are doing crummy, you're downstat, right? The sixth dynamic is the urge towards existence as the physical universe. So that's like you're all living, everything like your house, your car, that kind of stuff, your clothes, stuff like that. So that's the sixth dynamic. The physical universe is composed of matter, energy, space, and time. In Scientology, we take the first letter of each of these words and coin the word messed, which is true. They go, yeah, they have really great messed. Or, oh, their messed is really screwed up, right? They're very evaluative. Just so you know, Scientologists are extremely evaluative. And I never had seen The Matrix till last night, but it is kind of like The Matrix where, they look through kind of different things and then that's who you are. It's really spooky. Okay, so this can be called the universe dynamic. The seventh dynamic is the urge towards existence as or of spirits. Anything spiritual with or without identity would come under the heading of the seventh dynamic. Okay, there you go. And this can be called the spiritual dynamic. And then the eighth dynamic is the urge towards existence as infinity. This is also identified as the supreme being. So see, he never says God. He just says the supreme being. It's carefully observed here that the science of Scientology does not intrude into the dynamic of the supreme being. This is called the eighth dynamic because the symbol of infinity stood upright makes the numeral 8. I always forgot that. This is called the infinity or God dynamic. So that's the only time, that is honestly the only time you ever hear the word God. And there you go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but then they have pictures of each one of the dynamics. It's amazing. Anyway, that's it. So that's the 8 dynamics. So I hope that helped. It helps to have the tech dictionary. See? That I don't get anything wrong. All right, now let me see. All right, so can you please explain the dynamics and why it is also... So I think you can see why it'd be a big part of the Truman Show, because if you're in the Truman Show, every one of your 8 dynamics are, being looked at for how they are and how well you're doing, and especially with Scientology, right? So it just helps rope you in more, because it's like, well, how are your animals? Oh, really? Your animals are sick? They must be PTS. Are you connected to anyone that's suppressive? It's just on and on and on. Anyway, Joe, good morning from Scotland. Hi. And thank you, Cece. Happy upcoming birthday. Happy upcoming birthday, Cece. That's cool. All right. Sophie, it's a complete misconception that cult members are stupid. It's proven time and time again that they're normally above average intelligence. Thank you. There you go. Time and time again. And they're corny too. I agree, Tori. I prefer the actual tribe names than a generic term. Good. Okay. So there's someone that agrees with me. Now I got to find who is the person that is actually from... Who was that? Who's it was Steph, right? Yeah, it was you. Wait, here she is. Have you heard of Steve? And are they still in Fabio's? I haven't. No, and I don't know. I don't know if they're still in, because I don't know who that is. Steve Fabio Fabos? I don't. But you mentioned you're part of the Appalachian, right? Tribe. Am I saying it right? Anyway, what do you think? Like Sophie's kind of like, oh, look, here's Sophie's thing on this. Our indigenous people are called Maori. That's the guy. They were Maoris, yeah. Was the guy you met in a skirt because he was probably a Pacific Islander, as they were lava lavs. Oh, okay, maybe so. I don't remember. I don't. I just remember she said, you'll know him because he'll be in a skirt. That's what it was. And he was really nice. He was really cool. You have to know that my background is I was in high school and my boyfriend and I wanted to go to Africa. And that's really what our goal was. And then I ended up, my parents sent me away to college. I quit college, went to New York City, left New York, went to Haight-Ashbury, became a hippie. And he went off to Africa and worked for the Peace Corps, which is what we wanted to both be in. We wanted to be in the Peace Corps. And he was there for years and years and years in Kenya. So anyway, it's been a long time goal of mine to work with natives and stuff like that. So I'm always fascinated. All right, here's this. Thank you. Love it. That's my link tree. Oh, wait, it went away. Apache. There's the link tree. There you go. Linktree, linktr.ee/Tori Magoo 44. Cool. And I want to thank everybody who sent me stuff. I've been going through writing it out, all the stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys have been so gentle and generous and kind. So really, really thank you very much. Good morning, Tori. Finally caught a live. I stand alone. Yep, you did. Magoo has your back, Scientologists that want out. You're right. I do. I understand. I've been there. I know how spooky it is. I was there all by myself. I didn't have anybody on the internet saying, come on out. Nothing. I wouldn't look at the internet. So I was just like terrified. But I did have 3 people that said, why don't you come to Clearwater for a week or a month? And I did, and that changed my life. Scientology is like stepping on fly strip tape. You have a hard time to get it off. It is possible, but you have to be determined to do it. That is one of the best analogies I've heard in a long time, YRB. And thank you for making me laugh. That is very, very funny. It's like fly paper. That is funny. I'd love if you came to New Zealand. I'd pick you up from the airport and you can stay with me and my sons. Oh, how fun. Well, I will work on it in the future. I have to go see my brother first, and then we'll see from there. But thank you. That's a really kind offer. Now this is from Love It. Please take a detour to the like button. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm still doing the starred ones here. All right. PTSD, seeing that book. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset people. All right. I'll go back up to the 12s because there's 12 starred things. All right. So here we are up at the 12. All right. So here we are with Joe. Good morning from sunny Scotland. I love that. Is there an org in San Diego? There is. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody in it, but there is an org there. And hopefully you're not planning on doing anything with it. You can go protest it. All right. Comment. I'd love if you came to New Zealand. Okay. Thank you, Sophie. All right. And this is yours. I hit the like button. I got that. PTSD. Seeing the book. That's funny that you said that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I use it, to me, it's like, hey, it's a reference. I just turned 59. I honestly believe I believe my is going to tell you any day, surprise, you're really 35. Okay. You left out my what? You believe you mean like you're God or something? I don't know what you mean. You're what? Anyway, I get what you mean. It's like all of us, at whatever age we are, we're really 18 or 25, that kind of thing. Midnight with Magoo, finger red, number 1. I still don't get it. One of these days, you guys are going to explain that to me. Finger red, number 1. Finger red, number 1. So red, number 1. Okay. Don't quite get it. But I've asked you to explain it to me. So one of these days you will. Just explain it in English so that I get it. It's weird that raising children is in the same category as sex. I get it, but it's still weird. Not really. I don't think so, Sophie. Because, children are part of sex. That's a great product of what happens with sex. Okay, here's Love It. Finger red, etc. is an emoji that StreamYard doesn't show. It's code. That's secret code that we don't get to see. Okay, well, thank you for that. Thank you for explaining it anyway. Okay, and Sophie, Swedish Lena says, good evening, everyone from Australia. Hello. Busy painting my nails. Ooh. So won't comment for a while. I understand that one. Yeah, definitely don't. That's always my mistake. I think, well, I'll just make one type, and then darn it, you screw them up. So I get it. Tori, I also have epilepsy. All right. Janine, is your name Janine? Painter. So glad you enlighten people on it. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm speaking about all medical abuses when I talk about it. That happens to be mine that they were abusing me with. But I want people to remember, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of different conditions. And wait, hang on. Okay, there's a lot of people that have a lot of different conditions. And it's easy for these groups to just be like, don't worry about it. We'll handle it. Just like me. And if my mother didn't have a father who was a doctor, I don't think she would have been as strong on it. But she did have a father who was a doctor. And he was like, no, you're not you're going to handle this with your daughter because she's going to be dead otherwise. And my grandfather, I loved him. I really did. But I could tell he was coming through with my mom. He was a great man. He really was. But I was lucky. You know, my dad was great. My grandfather was great. My son is great. My brothers are great. I really feel blessed that I have those people in my life. I do. And yeah, I always will. I'm lucky. You know, I had a great childhood, and that's because of them, all of them. And then as a mother, I've been really blessed with my son. Anyway, I'm ranting on. All right, so I Stand Alone says, question. Hi, Tori from Scotland. Did you get pushed down the stairs at the Edinburgh Org, or was it in Dublin? It was in Dublin. It was definitely in Dublin. And it was upstairs, so it was like a really steep stairway. I'd never been in a stairway that steep. And it wasn't really smart of me to go up, but who thought they'd push me down the stairs? Good Lord. If John McGee hadn't caught me, I would have been dead or paralyzed from the neck down. I promise you. And to think that somebody would do that and not care, it was like, whoa. Hit the like button, guys. Okay, that's right. All right, and comment. I know that there is it Maori in Scientology, as they partnered with some of their organizations. And yes, Maori people are generally very lovely. Cool. Very cool. All right, CC comment. I grew up with Native Americans and Eskimos in Alaska, and they treated me the same as them, and I did the same. I'm trying to practice saying Native American, even though I much more prefer their tribal names because they're more colorful. They just are. I don't know. There's something about Native American sounds really boring, but anyway. Hello from LA, the Clearwater crew. Hey, hi. I know there's some Clearwater guys that are coming into town. We're going to protest. So that should be fun. All right. And this is Anon. I'd love to say hi to Justin one of these days. I'll reach out to you at some point. Please do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I can't speak for him, but reach out to me and then we'll see if we can set it up. I have an idea of who you are, but I'm not sure. All right, comment. To quote Timothy Leary, we were all created in organisms. Therefore, we all have that divine energy of creation within us. Thank you. Good. All right. Well, it looks like we have come to the end of the starred questions. Oh, wait, maybe there's some more. Dusty Soda Dispenser said hello from LA, the Clearwater crew. Oh, okay. There you go. And Lovett said, thank you for coming. And I say thank you for coming. For all of you, thank you very, very much for coming. I really appreciate it. And if you get a chance, go hear Eric and my interview. I think you'll like it. You know, if you don't like it, you know, you don't have to listen to it. But if you do like it, we go over quite a few different topics that I think are good. That he did too, and it was interesting to hear how he got involved in all this Scientology stuff. And he's friends with Streets, who's Streets LA, who I really like. All right, you guys. Well, that's it for tonight. I'm going to be protesting tomorrow. And hi, Swedish Lena. Thank you for your hearts. I don't know how to do those hearts. I don't think on my computer you can. Because I can do this, or I can do this. This is the old way I used to do. Oh, wait, that isn't it. No. There. Now let's see if either of those work out. Did they work out? No, it didn't. See? Thanks, Tori. Always love these chats. First thing in the morning brightens my start of the day. Thank you. Okay, and here's a question. How do you psychologically handle the fair game Scientology does on you? It's just one of those things. It's like my view is just keep doing what you do, and the rest of it, because most of their stuff is gaslighting. And if you don't know what that is, watch the movie Gaslight. But it's like, what are you gonna do? I know if I speak out, they're gonna do their thing, and if they want to do their thing, they can do it. It just is more material for me, Scientology, every time. See, that's the difference. That's the difference in the old days and now. It's like now this is material. You do shit to me, and it's going to be on the internet that night. And that's the way. Just like Moxon yesterday, he was rude to me in the courtroom, or court in the hall. And did he need to be? I'm walking along slowly. I'm an older person, and he's like, "Move along, move along." It's like, really, you have to be rude like that? And I said, look, I don't have to move along, and you need to have the IJC come talk to me. Now, and then he kind of ticked me off because he kept saying, move along, move along. So I thought, all right, I'm going to make a video about how rude he is. And that's what I do. And I've been doing it since 2000. So wake the fuck up, Scientology, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You've flattened my tires. You've broken into my house. You've stripped my computer of everything. You've done a lot of shit to me. And you have lies about me on the internet. You wrote a 25-step program to muzzle Tory. What a bunch of morons. I mean, you think who raised these people? Were they raised out in a barn or something? Thanks for all coming. Okay, thank you. Love it. We're going to answer a few more of these questions now. No, I got that. This was a question. Update. I was referring to Steve Fabos. Okay, he used to live in La Cañada, California. I used to babysit his 3 kids. This was before I was named. Wow. Okay, I know the name Steve Fabos, but I do not know if he's still in by any means. Sending love. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and then here's Kelly again. Did you like the movie The Matrix? There are 3 sequels. I did not. But you have to remember, flashing things for me is not a good thing. And there was a lot of flashy stuff in it. And there's a lot of shooting. And I really don't like shooting. I've always been I'm not anti-guns. If people want to shoot, that's fine. If they have something they're actually shooting or hunting. But, to just shoot guns at each other and see people, I don't really like that. So I liked some of it, but I wouldn't see it. My friend wanted me to see it in the theater. And I said, no, it's going to be way too loud, and the flashing is going to be way too much for me. So no, I'm not going to. And he understood. He said, yeah, now that I've watched it with you, I'm like, no, not going to work out. So anyway, that's the way it is. I have certain things that I have to watch out for, and that's one of them. Okay, thanks, Tori. Always love these chats first thing in the morning. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Joe, thank you. Thanks, Tori, for all you do to educate, enlighten, and bring us all together. You are welcome. Thank you for helping me, Sophie, and love it. You guys are great moderators. You really are. And have a good night. You guys all have a good night too. And thank you, Anna. And make sure to send me a message so we can talk. All right. So there you go. The party's over. I'm going to bed. And for you guys that are just waking up, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Anyway, I love you guys. I have 25,400 subscribers. That may be greater number than the current worldwide CFS membership. Tori is winning. So please keep subscribing. Bring your friends on and get them to subscribe. I want to get it up to 26,000. I do. I want to move it up. So let's get some more subscriptions here so that can happen. All right. So you guys help me with that. All right. Thank you. And thank you. Love it. You're wonderful. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. Adios, artichokes.